In Hood, Outlaws and Legends, you will battle it out in visceral and nail-biting multiplayer heists in a violent medieval world. Choose an outlaw, assemble your team, and then infiltrate castles and strongholds to steal the guarded riches within. But be warned, your team isn't the only one with eyes on the prize.
Alright, let's see this gameplay
Each daring
trailer all
heist
about.
pits 2 teams of 4 against each other, competing for a prized chest of treasure guarded by knights, crossbowmen, and the fearsome sheriff.
Is that what she said?
Each castle you visit.
Let me go back 1 second.
Each 2 teams of 4 against each other.
2, right?
Each daring heist pits 2 teams of 4 against each other, competing for a prized chest of treasure guarded by knights, crossbowmen, and the fearsome sheriff. Each castle you visit is located in a unique environment with structures to explore and hidden entrances to discover. Your first step is to infiltrate the enemy stronghold, to capture spawn points and find the key to the vault. The key is protected by the sheriff, a force of nature, capable of killing a man in a single blow and protected by a squad of elite guards. Once you have the key, you need to locate the vault and unlock the door. If you manage to get the location before the rival gang, they will have to either ambush you at the vault or wait for another opportunity to steal the treasure chest from you. You must now take the chest to an extraction point and prepare to win.
It's a pretty interesting concept because it's like, you know, you're not only fighting the computer, and you're not only trying to, like, you know, get this key from the guy, you know, they say it could pretty much one-hit you if you mess up or you're, you know, left out there alone with them. But you're not only getting the treasure. After you get the treasure, if you're the first to get it, you have to worry about the other team at that point, which basically have to intercept you and take out you and your team to get the treasure. And it's also pretty cool that, like, as you're trying to get at the treasure, it's almost like this weird kind of dynamic that you're playing, because it's like, okay, we have to get to this treasure as quickly as we can because we know there's another team also trying to get to the treasure. So you're trying to get there as quickly as you can, but you're also trying to get there without dying. You know, you're also trying to get there without getting all the guards on you, obviously, and getting your whole team wiped and then having to, you know, respawn and start from the beginning or whatever. And one thing I did notice that they said that I thought was pretty interesting was that there's spawn points that you can capture. So there must be, like, strategically placed spawn points that's closer to your objective that the teams will probably be fighting over as they're trying to, you know, get the treasure initially. And the reason you would obviously want to capture those spawn points is because that way when you do die, or if you die, you can spawn a little bit closer and help out your team. I'm assuming is what that's for. I mean, that sounds about right.
Winch it away. Defend the position and protect your teammates winching the chest. Both the enemy team and the sheriff will try to stop you and claim the goods for themselves. A successful heist starts with assembling the perfect team. The ranger is a sniper, equipped with a devastating longbow that can eliminate targets from almost any range. His explosive arrows can bring even the unstoppable sheriff to his knees.
I think that'd be my class.
The hunter's burst-fire crossbow and deadly assassination abilities makes her a master of close-range ambushes. Her invisibility and smoke grenades are perfect for the sneaky approach. The brawler is the best at close-quarters combat. His sledgehammer is capable of downing some foes in a single blow. And when he activates his wrath ability, he becomes a melee powerhouse. The mystic's divination lets him detect nearby enemies. He also has healing abilities that can bring the wounded allies back to fighting form. Only a fool would consider him a pacifist, though. His flail is the perfect weapon for crowd control and breaking down the sturdiest of armored guards. The riches you manage to steal from the state may be used to develop your hideout, giving you access to a wide variety of services. With your hard-earned rewards, change the look of your weapons and armor, or customize your characters to unlock new tools, abilities, and gear.
That's cool, but I want to know how many levels there
Hood,
are.
Outlaws, and Legends will let you and your friends
Probably not gonna
perform
tell us.
daring heists and calculated escapes under the watchful eye of the state. Is there honor among thieves? That's up to you to decide. In Hood, we are all outlaws, but some of us will become legends.
Okay. Pretty cool trailer. Alright, so that was the official gameplay overview trailer for Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. I know there's more trailers on it that I haven't watched. But this trailer kind of encompasses the entire game in a sense, as far as like what classes you're going to play, the style of game it is, what you can expect to be doing, also what you can expect to be rewarded for playing the game. It looks neat. It's fairly interesting. To me, the thing that really makes it stand out is that it's not like it's a 4-player co-op game that has a full-length campaign. This is probably, I get the feeling that this is going to be real kind of just map-heavy based. Each map will probably have its own feel, maybe even in like its own little kind of mini story or mini lore behind like who's guarding it or the wardens possibly. It could have a little bit of context in there. But I feel like this is mostly going to be a game for like, it's going to have a couple maps. I hope it's a lot of maps. I hope it's like 10. But I get the feeling it's going to be like 4 to 6 maps. And the replayability aspect is going to come into, your replayability is coming from the fact that you're playing another team while doing these things. So it's not just you versus the computer, it's you versus the computer and another human squad. And that's what kind of makes it more interesting than it would be. Without that, if it was just how it is and you didn't have that other team, coming up against you, I don't feel like it would be quite as interesting as it is. But that being said, they went that route, so it does make it pretty interesting. My only question would be, how many maps are there? And how many hours of playability is the game going to have? I mean, if this game comes out and it's $60 and it's 4 maps, and each map, depending on how good your team is, may only take you like an hour to complete, or just however long it takes you. How much are you going to be able to replay those maps and get things like cosmetics, like they talked about? You earn cosmetics. Earn points probably. You earn ways to upgrade your hideout or whatever, which means also probably upgrading your classes and class abilities more than likely. But my question once again is, how much replayability is there in that alone? How much are you going to be able to play and replay even with the cool aspect of going up against another team? I don't know. I don't think I've ever played a game quite like this. Not in this setting and this built like this. So it'll be interesting, and I'm sure it's going to be $60, but it'll be interesting to see how the gaming community likes it and what they think of it. Graphically, it looks fine. I mean, it didn't blow me away or anything, but it looks perfectly acceptable. The gameplay looked pretty smooth. I didn't see any issues gameplay-wise or within the game that stood out to me. The only issue I see just from the trailer and just from what little knowledge I've gleaned from the trailer, the only thing that worries me is how much. Once again, how many maps are there? How much replayability is there? How many maps are there? How many times? Because my thing is okay, it's one thing to play a game and say you have 8 maps on this game. Well, each time I go to one of these maps that are brand new, the first time I play it, I'm not going to learn the best way to play it, right? Unless I look up tips or something and cheat. But part of the fun of those kind of maps is, like they said, there's hidden entrances. There's ways in. There's I'm sure there's multiple ways to attack a problem in each map. So that gives each map replayability within itself. But if there's only 3 main ways to attack a problem, then you can play that map 3 times, and once you figure that out, then the map's not quite as interesting anymore. But say you have 4 maps, and that 4 times 3 is what, 12, so 12 rounds per se. I'm just simply trying to state that for some people it could get boring relatively quickly. It just really depends on how they did it. It depends on how many maps there are. So I feel like if there's more than 4 maps, if there's a lot of maps, and if that concept of having another team going up against you in a game like this is a lot of fun, then it's definitely going to make help out this game a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool concept. It's neat. I can't think of anything I've really seen do this before. So I'm always like whenever I see new concepts coming and new types of games coming out, because I mean, you never know. It may be a lot of fun, it may not be so fun. Just there's no way of knowing until you play it. But yep. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me, guys. If you hung in there this long, I want to thank you for hanging in there and watching the video. If you enjoy this kind of content, check out some other content. If you enjoy that, consider subscribing to the channel. Join the FinFolk Legion. Also stream on Twitch and on Facebook at FinFolkGaming. On both of those platforms, I'll have links in the description down below. And yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for me. I'll see you on the next one.